don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
I was contacted by this gentleman, Tyrone. Tyrone works on the security team for Jake's at the Potter's house. And it was, early. He had a couple of pictures. He had a picture of Jake's in a thong with a peach cobbler that he had made. And then Jake's had bought him a motorcycle, and he had a couple of pictures of Jake's in a very provocative manner, chest down on the motorcycle and tooted up in the thong. And so they were, it's always when you are a side piece or when you are a, person that is being used or that is used sexually, there's always someone that comes down the line that's younger, finer, better body, or something that piques the person that you're involved with interest and somewhat knocks you down, somewhat puts you lower on the totem pole. You're not getting as much money. You're not on the forefront of their mind as you were. You have dropped down where you're not going on every trip. You may be going on every other trip. You may not even be traveling anymore. Yes, I have seen the photographs and possibly have them. So he reached out, and I wanted the story. I wanted the story. I was gun ho. He and I quickly developed a friendship. I'm contacting him. He's contacting me. We're consistently talking. He's letting more and more of his guard down and going into more detail about what he was participating in. Now, he was an adult male. What I will say, I'm not necessarily familiar with, not to say that there wasn't, but I'm not familiar with whether or not there were any young or underage guys that ever was involved. Tyrone was handsomely played and well taken care of. But some things were happening. Some things had happened where he was not in the forefront with Jake's anymore. And he wanted to come forward because he was very much upset that this man that he had been sexually involved with was pretty much stepping away from him. And so he was trying to figure out a way to work or rework his footing and to get back in place, back in position, back in play with Jakes. We kept going back and forth. There was a lot of things that transpired during that period. There was a number of three-way conversations with him on the phone that was at best very bizarre to hear a person like a Jakes talk sexually, talk about things that they had done and that he had done to him, and that what he wanted to be done and to happen moving forward. Tyrone, based upon his photographs and his discussion, was extremely well endowed, and was very, I gotta save this stuff for the podcast, but very pronounced and aggressive sexually. And I'll go into in the podcast too in some more kind of graphic detail as to what he likes, what he liked, and the stamina of, or the length and the amount of time that one could go. Now I'm thinking that I was going to have this major story. All along, strange stuff keeps popping up and happening. We were all out in LA at the NAACP Image Awards. Jakes was being honored that year. And then that's the same year that Jermaine, who was one of Sarita's twins that she had prior to marrying Thomas Dexter Jakes, he was at the park lurking at night in the dark, took his penis out and approached what he, unbeknown to him, was an off-duty officer. The night before the Image Awards, Jakes hauls ass back to Dallas to deal with the situation. However, prior to that, he threw Jermaine under the bus, and that's when we found out that Sarita had children prior to marrying or getting with Jakes. Also, one of the interesting facts is some question that Sarita might have been or might have dealt in the realm of lesbianism, but she pursued Jakes. He did not go after her. She actively pursued him. Okay? So that transpires. And different things started unfolding and happening. Forward, Paul Cooley is asking who got put off the plane. Okay, so this is Daryl Patrick. This is Daryl Patrick. Okay, Daryl unfortunately is deceased. He worked as a fashion stylist for Bishop Jakes. Now, the interesting part about him, he wasn't totally a top. He was more so versatile. However, he handled wardrobe for Jakes. And see, there's always someone in the group that has their hands on the boys. So Daryl knew and had a stable of gay guys that he could connect and introduce Bishop Jakes to. Now, y'all know who this is. That's Keon Henderson, who is now married to Shaunieoneal, who also, you know, we had the big debacle with Ernest Pugh. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so you can get the intimate and behind the scenes details. Okay. So Daryl got into it, did and said some things that was inappropriate, upset Jakes. Jakes put him off of the private plane and left him stranded. Daryl starts texting and making threats. Jake's iPad is back in Dallas at home. So Rita sees the text. Daryl was fired, and so then as it works, Daryl was fired, and Bloomer gets involved, talks to Jakes and says, okay, we need to make this go away. They figure out a way that Jakes brings Daryl back, but also makes everybody comfortable. However, he does not go back on direct payroll. What he does is he leverages Jake's name and he creates a consortium of people like Keon, people like Keon Henderson, back in the day, Darwin Randolph, these, you know, young pastors, mid-30s, early 40s. He creates a situation with them where they, it's sort of like Aaron's Army, where they sponsor and pay so much, and you know they go to Potter's house and they have these small sessions with Jakes. They give money They become contacted.
Girl, what's going on? Girl, what?
So, okay, guys, that was a lot of information, a whole bunch of information. So, we don't know if this stuff is actually true or not because none of this information has really been confirmed. So, what I can say is there is a lot of information that's swirling around. Obviously, the internet is saying that, and I know I shared a video about this. They're saying that Bishop T.D. Jakes is a bottom. I think it's if I'm correct, I think the word they use is a powerful bottom or something to that nature. I cannot remember, but anywho, there is so much information, that's coming out right now. We know that he's been linked to Diddy. I'm not sure if all of this stuff is coming out because he's, being linked to Diddy, and Diddy is just going to hell right about now. So he is just over with, washed up, done. But there is a lot of information coming out with regards to, TD Jakes and the FO freak off situation. Now Keon Henderson is being linked to him. And I don't even want to get on Keon Henderson because if y'all have not heard about Keon Henderson, if you have not, I'm not going to open up that can of worms. But anyway, TD Jakes came out today, and this is what he had to say. Again, we don't know what is going on. Allegedly, they said that it is a lawsuit or some other stuff that's supposed to be coming out soon. We're just going to have to wait for it, just like we waited for it with Diddy. So let's get into what TD Jakes had to say.
Some of you logged in or come in out of concern. Some of you come in to hear what I'm going to say. All of you who expect me to address a lie, you can log off. I will not use this sacred day and this sacred pulpit to address a lie when I have a chance to preach a truth. I will stand straight up, head up, back straight, and preach the unadulterated, infallible word of God. Because that is what the pulpit is for. But there will be a time. So you can stop dragging people and arguing with people and fighting and just log off. All you do is just hit the button. Right there. Log off. There is no show here. In the Gospel of St. Matthew.
So TD Jakes is basically saying that this is false. Again, it is being alleged that a lot of information is about to come out. As I stated to you guys in another video, I had indicated to you that rumors were circulating that Cassie had provided documents, tapes, and all sort of information to the FBI, and that there was an investigation underway. Of course, the police has been denying that there is any open investigation, but you got to understand that it's above the police, and the police wouldn't tell you anyway. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Again, we don't know. This is a bunch of information that's out there, and everybody is talking about it. And I don't know. We'll just follow this story, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. See you in the next video.